Developing feel and playing with creativity is one of the signature aspects of what makes a guitar player sound really great. But how do you actually approach playing with feel, developing feel, and playing creatively if you're just starting out or if you're just stuck in a rut and you want to develop some new ideas? Well, in this video, I'm going to explain everything that you need to know. What is up everyone, Harvey here, welcome back to the channel and thanks so much for checking out this video. If you are new around here, I post videos every single Tuesday about all things guitar related and I've just hit 500 subscribers, so I want to thank all of you for taking a second to hit that subscribe button, and if you haven't already, make sure that you do hit the button to come along for the ride because we're building a pretty cool thing here. I'm really happy with how the channel is progressing and I would love to see you around for future videos. So in the jam that I played at the start of this video, I incorporated some of the ideas that I want to talk about today, and I want to keep it super simple because developing good feel and playing with creativity is actually a lot easier than it sounds if you apply the right mindset and if you incorporate a few simple techniques. So the first thing that I want to talk about is how to actually arrive at the notes that you want to play. It's really easy to just run scales and to actually just pick a note, play the note, move on to the next one, but really how you actually get to that note is a big part of the signature sound of a lot of iconic guitarists. So a good exercise for doing this is to choose maybe 2 or 3 notes, just a really simple phrase, but explore how many different ways you can actually attack those notes, sliding up to notes, sliding down into notes, bending. All of this stuff is really important, and I think when we're just playing and jamming, I don't think we spend a lot of time actually thinking about how we're actually playing the phrases that we do. So I would choose a really limiting selection of notes, just make it as simple as possible, just so then it forces you to be creative and to actually explore every single possibility. Another great way to develop feel and to develop creativity is to play around with the time feel of the phrases that you play. I think when we play a lot of blues music or rock music, there's a very kind of, there's a very obvious beat, a very obvious rhythm that we like to try and stick to on the guitar. We want to play everything on the downbeat all the time, or we just want to play along to like what the drums are doing or what the bass is doing. But really, you want to explore ways to kind of add some counter rhythm. You don't want the timing of each note to be even, you want to be able to split it up a little bit to add some movement and to add some colour to the sound. So adopting the technique and the kind of practice routine that we discussed in the last point about choosing a simple phrase and then trying to get the most out of it, do the same but with timing. Try arriving at the note early. Try leaning back slightly and just taking a bit more of a back seat so you're slightly behind the beat. And make sure that when you're approaching these notes and you're going from one note to the next, just try and make sure that you're not necessarily playing it in the same pattern all the time. My last tip is all around imitation. Now, that might sound like it's cheating a little bit because we don't necessarily want to sound like other guitar players. We want to develop our own sound on the guitar. But there is a real benefit in actually taking different bits of inspiration from different guitarists and then kind of blending that all together to create your own sound. And so many great guitarists have such great feel and such great sense of creativity and time feel in their playing. So the best thing that you can do to start developing that is to try and imitate the sound of other guitarists. And just playing along to records and just trying to imitate that as much as you can is just going to extend your vocabulary. Extending your vocabulary means that you have more options on the guitar, and then the more you know, you can then start to tweak them and develop them and start to create your own approach and your own sound. It's definitely something that I spent a whole lot of time doing when I was a teenager. I used to spend so much time playing along to records, and over time it's just osmosis. You just end up starting subconsciously to pick up on some of the things that they do. Now, it does take a little bit of background. I was lucky enough to grow up in the era of YouTube when I was learning guitar, so watching videos, watching how they position their hands, how they choose to bend notes, how they arrive at notes. The visual side of it is really, really important, so go down the YouTube rabbit hole only after you've watched this video though, and just see what you can pick up from watching other players. It's definitely the best way to elevate your sound and progress quickly, and over time you will start to develop your own sound as you kind of explore this and become a little bit more confident. So that's it from me, guys. Just a few quick tips on how to develop feel and how to add creativity to your playing. A really simple few exercises to do, but if you stick with them for a while and just start to be a little bit more cognizant of how you're playing the guitar, how you're arriving at notes, how you're choosing to phrase those notes, in no time at all you're going to be able to see real progress in your playing. So I hope you found this lesson helpful. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Really does help the channel grow, helps with all that YouTube algorithm nonsense, but it helps me out, and that is just something that I would really appreciate. As always, guys, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you found this lesson helpful, or if you've got any questions or ideas for anything else that you'd like me to cover on the channel in the future, then I would love to hear from you. As always, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you all next week for another video.